Hi there. My name is Jens Christian. I work as a team lead in a IT company. We're doing work in cybersecurity, and I will want to show you how we use Tana in our team and have been developing our ways of working together as a team with Tana. And I'm going to present to you a number of videos. I want to show you how we can build or you can build a team space to enable collaboration for your team. Some of the goals that I had when we set out on that is to create the tools and the processes to support asynchronously working teams, because the reality is that a lot of our employees or team members are in the home office, and we need a way to synchronize ourselves. And I think the worst possible way to do that is to have synchronous communications like stand-up meetings or Slack or Mattermost channel chats, because they frankly don't work. So we have set up Tana to be an asynchronously work platform that allows everybody on the team to see what the current projects are, what the status of these projects is, what everybody is working on, and tons of other things that are related to keeping a team running and enabling them to do work. I'll be going through various things, starting off with simple tasks and projects, move on to people and organizations, like in organizations as in customers. We will cover some of the methods of Sociocracy 3.0, which we are using in our company to enable teams to work and better together and do governance of the work together. We'll cover meetings, different meetings with clients, team meetings, see what we can do there. We'll cover the daily work log, and we'll also cover later on how we define services. And we're borrowing stuff from ITIL and create service descriptions, SLAs, and so on and so forth. It's going to be a number of videos. Let's start very basic with an empty workspace, and let's create some tasks and projects. I'm happy to show you what we're doing. So here we are with the very blank workspace that will turn into a team productivity workspace. The first thing I like to do with a shared workspace is to fill in the tags for the calendar, because they don't show up usually. So I start out by creating a day tag, week tag, and a year tag. And then we have to go to the calendar and work a bit on these things. So the year tag, we're going to set a tag, add tag, year. We're going to add a tag to the week, picking the one from the workspace, of course, and we are tagging the day for these days, and I'll also do the same thing. I've been playing around with this for a bit, so add tag, week, and add tag, day. Now this is all fine and dandy, but we don't have, when we enter next date, it will not have the tag yet. So we need to do a little bit of configuring. We go to the schema. Here we go to the year tag and get the configure super tag legacy thing. And what we want to do is to configure the child super tag. So the child super tag for a year is, of course, a week. And again, if you have multiple workspaces, be sure that you get the right one. And same thing for the week. Configure super tag legacy, and the child super tag for a week is the day, like this. And now, if we go back to the calendar, we can delete those tags. We don't need them anymore. If we go to the next day, it will automatically have. Now we got that. The 11th, we didn't have that yet, is now tagged today. So now we have the setup for day and week tags. The first thing we want to think about is how to track tasks and to-dos and other things. And what I like to do is create a structure that starts off with a generic to-do tag and then goes into a task tag and maybe a function and other things that are to-dos, questions, and so on and so forth. So what we'll do is we start out by just creating a to-do tag. And the to-do tag is kind of the super tag of the super tags. The others will extend it. And we configure it. And what we will do is we will have two fields, a status field, which is of fixed options. I like to do that. And you could do that like to-do, doing, done. But we also have things like waiting for. If you're from GTD, you know that sometimes you wait for stuff, or things are stalled, or needs review, something like that. And the other thing that goes into every tag is the assignee, which is for now of type user, because we have this is a multi-user workspace, so we'll have multiple users. So if we look at that, we have to-dos and so on. That is fine. And the next thing we will do is create a task tag. Task has a bit more structure. It will extend. Let's do that right away. It extends an existing tag. It extends the to-do tag. So it gets the status and the assignee fields. This one could have a due date, which that's system field here. It could have a link to project. We'll leave that open for now, but we want to link tasks and projects. And I think that's enough for now. So we'll just leave it at that. We have to-dos and projects. And now we can actually start to create stuff. So we have in our little team, we need to create videos, for example. So create Tana team video. And this is a task. And if I open it, status is actually I'm doing this. So let's do it here. Assignee would be me. The due date is tomorrow. And project is, let's just do something. We'll add that. That's the Tana team video project. And we'll create that here. And we can do another one, which would be release videos, which is also a task. Status is to do. And the assignee again would be me. Date, maybe tomorrow as well. And project again, Tana team video. And this is the one in the library. I have here a little script. It's probably a stupid idea to use it like that. So team video series to disambiguate this. So we have projects and to-dos. And now what we can do, of course, this is basic Tana functionality, is we can create a search node that shows us all to-dos. And run that, and we get to-dos and tasks here. And you know that because to-do is the extends, all the to-do tasks extend from to-do, everything shows up, tasks and other things. So we will go into more detail of how to structure that in a future video. So the first thing we want to do now with the tasks is to have a better view of those. I'm going to remove the tasks here, the tags here from these tasks, because they don't really use them to show you structure. So I have two tasks now in a query. Let's just call that work. And we're going to create a table so we can see the assignee and the project and that. Let's save that for everyone. And let's drag that into option drag that into our sidebar. So now we have work, and I'd like to see that as charts. And we're going to group them by the status field and remove this one, and we have our Kanban board. For that, I also want to show the assignee, so who is responsible and maybe the due date. And save that for everyone, and we have our first little Kanban board ready. We'll extend that as we go along. The next piece of the puzzle that we are looking at are projects. So we create a project tag, and we'll start really simple. We'll build that out in the future. The project has a due date. We'll take the system field, and we want to collect all the tasks that are related to a project. But we'll do that with a search node. So I'm typing question mark, create a search node, and then I'm finding everything that is tagged with to do. The two tags here. Now, we want to limit these tasks only to those that are in the project, and we'll use a bit more advanced query in a second. But first, we want to set up the view, and I need to set up the view here as a table, and it shows everything here. That is fine. So I can save that and then go back to the live query and say the next thing is the field, the project, and that would be the parent. This will look for all the tasks where the project, and you remember we set up project a while ago in the tasks, where the task is related to that specific project. So done. Save this for everyone. Now we can rename this as tasks. We have a little, I'll leave you to find the good icons. So we have a project. Remove this here, and we have our Tana team video series that we're going to tag as project. And if we open the tasks here, you will see that the two tasks, the two tools that we've done, they will show up here. And that is Sunday. Doesn't work, so we'll just Sunday or 10, which is Tuesday, which is fine. And we go back to our calendar, see if this works. Let's create another project. Work on setting up team structures, which is a project, and the due date is May 1st, 12th, December 1st, and there are no tasks. Now let's enter a task here, define roles, and that is a task, and this task is to do, and the assignee would be me, and the project is the work on setting up team structures. And you see we have it's all fine and dandy, but we could improve the task tag a little bit. We go into here, go configure, and we're going to configure the project to only show projects from this workspace, which will make this a little bit easier. And that should take care of these things. Let's see if our work Kanban works. Define roles. Again, we can make a little improvement here. We can add the project, save that for everyone, and we get this. And that's it for projects for now. We're just left with one more little thing to do. We want to have a project view. So find nodes with tag project. Let's create a table for that. Let's sort them by due date, descending, and save that for everyone. Call them projects, and we'll also option drag, if I manage, option drag that into the sidebar. Now we have our projects, the work we're doing, and the calendar. Now all these things here live in the today date. That's totally fine, but I like to move them to the library. So we can remove them. Let's also move the work and the project views. So they live in their own, in the library, and we could delete them from the today's page. All right, this has been the setup of tasks and projects. Very rough, very simple. We'll expand on that in future videos, but next up is setting up a kind of poor man's CRM when we talk about persons and organizations. See you next time.